AM 560. The Answer.
Communism never works, not just because it's extremely flawed, but because it's absolutely and totally unjust to the decent and only rewards the indecent in each and every case. In each and every case. That's why. How did we get to a position where we have all of the information, all of the data of the tens of millions of people, billions of dollars stolen, and nobody seems to care?
We are announcing federal charges against two men, Antonio Bonner and Saul Elisme, for large-scale SNAP benefit trafficking, a scheme that turned a program designed to feed families into a multi-million-dollar criminal enterprise. SNAP benefits are also known as food stamps. The defendants are charged with one count of food stamp fraud. As alleged in the charging documents, these men abused one of the government's most critical safety net programs for their own financial gain. This is taxpayer money meant to keep people from going hungry.
Why not incentivize the grocery store to give the food away and not pay taxes? The answer is always incentivize the provider. And that's the last answer any politician, any power-hungry, self-enriching, self-aggrandizing scallywag will ever tell you. How many grocery store owners would do that tomorrow? You mean to tell me if I give away this perishable item, I could write it off against the profits I made selling items to people who could pay? That's the answer. And then you could make the decision who gets it and who gets what. Instead, we splash the pot with money. Stop giving money. How many trillions have to be stolen before people wake up? Ron, Countryside.
Yeah, I wanted to ask about Inglewood. You know, they're throwing out a lot of percentages, but not a lot of hard numbers. So if they're in Inglewood, they're paying $1,000 in property tax, and it goes up 100%. That's $2,000, and they're expecting them to cover because Johnson drove out all the corporate. So now they're expected to pay pick up the slack, and now everybody's upset about it. But it seems like the property taxes in that area were artificially low.
Really? You've got places, Ron, that people can't give away. You've got abandoned lots. You've got, this is how ghettos are built, and this is how they're kept. And you know what the real problem is, Ron? You know how many states? I know it's Georgia. This is the Florida proposal. I think it's Missouri. When you're a 62-year-old person and you own real estate, they eliminate the portion of your property tax, which is really an extortion fee. I hate that word tax. It legitimizes extortion. They eliminate the extortion part of the tax that goes to schools. After all, why would you pay for schools? You're 62. You raised your own kids. Why is it never an argument against the most illegal tax there is when it comes to property tax? It's a tax of assumption, number one. And it's also a tax on unrealized gains. How that never gets really with the right focal point. You're telling me what I'm taxed based on your analogy of what property's worth. Do you know who decides what property's worth, Ron?
Yeah, the I don't know, Tony Preckwinkle or...
Well, no. In the real world. Exactly what someone is willing to give you for it. That's the price of real estate. That's the ambiguity that lawyers, mafia-connected lawyers and others, use to argue to judges who have an IQ over 60 of why the property they're being assessed for is ridiculous. That's why the system is set up so that you need those lawyers. When the reality is, in the age of AI, I've got people talking about robots now. Robots, we've got self-driving cars, we're going to Mars. I still got to talk to Democrats about my property taxes? I could look on 15 websites and see right now what your house in Countryside is worth to the millisecond. I need Fritz Kagi? We need thousands of people to work in that bureaucracy? And the reason is the system is set up just to be extorted the way they like it. And now what you're seeing serfdom. These are all the warnings, Ron, that we've been told about since the 30s. Since the 30s, when people started to toil with the idea that we're going to go into socialism light, a hybrid with FDR. And all the books by all the philosophers and economic professionals and professors and doctors wrote books talking about the snake cannot eat its tail and pretend to be a hunter. You're now taxing the poorest people. What are you going to do? You're just destroying it all. And there's no ideas. Let's turn to the Republicans. What are the Republicans going to do for health care? That's how you know we're not at the point yet where people want to say uncle. And until we get there, who are you going to argue with? You're arguing with reality. Why did we accept the idea that you can tax people on unrealized gains to pay for schools that, let's say they work? It's still unjust, but now we know they don't work, and we're still paying more every day? That's the beginning of the end, babe. Actually, I take it back. That's the end of it. That's the end of the end. We're just living through the decivilization of American property rights and principles. Thank you very much for the call. George in Naperville.
Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, are the ICE activity interrupters working for Pritzker, are they given gas cards for, to pay the cost of tailing ICE vehicles?
I think they're moving a little bit less weight than the violence interrupters. Who, how many is it? Is it 30% have been caught selling dope while they're on the payroll with their vests on? 312-642-5600.
This is the Sean Thompson Show, where Democrats are always wrong, Republicans are seldom right, and politicians are never, ever to be trusted. On AM 560, The Answer.